When you look at oncology, one of the big factors in oncology, number one, is diagnosis. Do you know how many breast cancer cases there are in India today? At least, I think it's 25,000 cases, and they're all detected at a very late stage. What we require, therefore, number one, for cancer is proper diagnosis. Number two, it is a disease which is very much doctor dependent. 70% of all the medication for cancer are injectables. So it's very doctor dependent. And then the doctors decide what they want to use or not use. So unlike in AIDS or something, where the doctor prescribes you a medication and then you take it for life. Different concept. So the methodology in cancer is slightly different. My point is that the drugs that I can legally produce for cancer, I will offer them at affordable prices. To give you an example, there are 2-3 of the drugs that are classified as NIBs. In India, the multinational companies' prices range from 1.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs a month for tablets. And we are giving them the equivalent between, say, 6,500 to the most expensive is 80,000 a month. But it's a very, very big difference even now. So what we are saying that we, wherever possible, legally, drugs that we can offer and make ourselves, we will give at affordable prices in India and from India elsewhere in the world as well.
Other thing, sir, is that, you know, what you did with the cocktail of HIV drugs was done at a different time and space. There was an epidemic, a chronic epidemic, which people didn't understand. It was a big scare across the world, and our patent regime was different. In the current circumstance, will you be able to really bring down costs of a lot of the critical drugs that you're looking at as a layperson? I mean, that's a question I would like to ask you.
It's a very interesting question.
Because, you know, there's a lot of other issues stacked against you right now.
That's right. We are saying that under the present system, whatever we can legally do, we will do. But there are newer drugs coming up so rapidly in the area of diseases such as cancer. There are new drugs today for hepatitis C,
you will not be able to keep pace with it because I think your cutoff is 1995.
We are cut off 95.
Right? Yeah.
And that is a big, big bottleneck. I cannot produce the newer drugs that there are today for resistant TB. TB, hepatitis, cancer, I can't produce. And even for some of the biotech products, I can't produce.
But juxtapose that to another trend that is happening, where every government across the world, including the Obama administration, is bringing down the cost of healthcare. Do you see a lot of the thinking changing, or do you think the whole issue of patent and IP is so dominated by the big pharma that they're going to rule the roost over there?
The big pharma, you must understand that if the total world business today is trillions of dollars, 45% of the total value is USA. So the USA, when you say big pharma, essentially you're talking about US companies. And they virtually run the government. And what they say goes.
No, but if the Obama administration is trying to bring down costs of drugs,
who says?
Will they be?
Who says?
At least the cost of healthcare.
They say so.
They say so.
But I don't think in reality.
You're not buying that.
I don't think in reality that's true. What will happen is that the end user may be paying a lower price, but somewhere down the line, the price is still high. So somebody else is paying it. Maybe the government is paying it, like in England, the NHS subsidizes the cost.
Going ahead, if the journey so far was about bringing down costs, bringing affordable health care to a lot of people who were suffering and, helping them. What's the road ahead for Cipla if you cannot do the same thing? If the environment has changed, the marketplace has changed, and the dynamics are changing?
I think where the strategy has changed has been that, like in 1995, we had 10% export, 90% local. Today, we are 55% export, 45% local. Maybe in 5 years' time, we will be 70% export and 30% local. So the whole emphasis has been to globalize using local facilities. Some of the factories of Indian companies, including CIPLA'S, are among the best you will see anywhere in the world.
In the 30 factories that you have and the many partnerships that you
Yes.
have, most of the facilities in factories are in India.
Yes.
In the new globalization scheme of things, you are looking at manufacturing units outside. I mean, be it in South Africa or Uganda, your
Yes.
acquisition. What is the thought process over there? Does it also indicate that a lot of the strategic shift is going to the overseas
Don't
market?
forget, like India did many years ago, most companies now demand local manufacture. Brazil, for example, Algeria, Brazil, they said Turkey, things that are produced in that country, we will not allow for importation. So we have to change our thinking and our strategies to absorb that. If I want to sell in Turkey, I have to produce there.
So what does this go global or globalization process mean for you? If you're going to take it up from 55 to 75%,
75,
what's it going to look like?
I have to have a global team to manage a global affair. And this is something that we have recently started about a year or two ago by employing people from international companies, etc., and they will take us forward. We are no longer a father-mother company like we were, say, 50 years ago. We are today very, very professionally run pharma company, and hopefully this professionalism will take us ahead. One thing in that professionalism, which I have personally and the family who are my brother, etc., we have tried and we have succeeded, that the people at the leaders of Cipla have the same mental philosophy of what I've just told you, our views on healthcare, that will always be there, hopefully.
But, a lot of pharmaceutical companies look overseas, Dr. Hamied, but for a lot of them, India is still a substantial market. It's the second largest market.
Also.
But my point is, why is the focus, or why is growth going to be driven overseas and not overseas?
I will tell you. Because unfortunately, our Indian government has not given us the infrastructure to expand locally. There's a price control which is totally meaningless. There is no drug policy. There's nothing. So how do you, today when you grow in size, I can't plan 3 months ahead. I have to plan 5 years ahead, minimum. We can't do it. There's no government policy. What do you do?
So it's easier to grow overseas?
It's easier to grow overseas than grow here. Pricing is better overseas than here. They have no idea of how to fix prices. I'm sorry, we are in court with the government, so I can't talk about that. Absolute stepmotherly treatment from the government.